It's been a long off-season, but basketball is back in East Lansing at the Breslin Center. Michigan State hosting Hillsdale right here on Big Ten Plus. Hi, everybody. I'm Zach Stank alongside Raphael Davis. Excited to get things going. It's been, like I mentioned, a long off-season. Always feels really long, but Michigan State coming in with a lot of expectations this year.
Big-time expectations. You heard Coach Izzo talk about talking to his guys and normally being enamored with making the Final Four, getting to a Final Four and enjoying that weekend. But this season, it's all about winning the national championship. Sometimes when you talk about Final Four, you could be excited to get there. But this year, Coach wants to take it all the way, make the fans happy, get to a nice Final Four, and bring it home a national championship.
And it starts tonight in this first exhibition, taking on a Hillsdale team that made the first Elite Eight in program history a year ago, led in a lot of ways by a big returner in Joe Reuter.
And Joe Reuter, the only returning starter on the team, losing 6 seniors is big time. Joe was able to average 12 points a game last season, over 6 rebounds. Coach is going to depend on him to put the ball in the hole, be a leader in the locker room, do it in a variety of different ways. They want to have a successful year.
Speaking of putting the ball in the basket, on the Michigan State side, pure bucket getter, Tyson Walker.
Tyson Walker is one of the best shot makers in the entire country. He just finds a way to make tough shots at key moments in the game. A pure 3-level scorer. Shoots the ball 40% from 3, makes it in transition, can finish at the rim over trees. There's a saying that we used to say in the neighborhood. It's not about the size of the dog in the fight, it's about the size of the fight in the dog. And that's Tyson Walker, one of the best shooting guards in the country.
That it is. Michigan State got a lot of expectations, as we mentioned, but they're going to be without one of their key reserves for the first half of the year. With more on that, we're going to send us to the third member of our team, Owen Ozust.
Thanks, Zach. One of the key role players for Michigan State a year ago is going to be out to start this season. Jackson Kohler underwent left foot surgery last week, so he's going to be expected to be out 6 to 8 weeks. Izzo anticipates him coming back mid to late December. He says it's unfortunate because Kohler has really improved his game. He's also shed some really good weight, and he's in the best shape of his life so far. Even despite him being on a knee scooter at practice earlier this week, he was still shooting free throws, improving his game any way he possibly could. It's going to be interesting to see once he gets back to the court as quickly as possible because he's a hard worker and he's in the best shape possible as well. Also for Michigan State, they have Xavier Booker, and they're a lot deeper at that position. So it's going to be interesting to see how they fill in for Jackson's role. And we're going to find out coming up right here on Big Ten Plus.
You can tell the atmosphere is back at the Breslin Center. The Izzo now in full force. We're glad to be back.
It's a big-time atmosphere. College basketball season is back. It's the best time of the year. Football season starts to dwindle down, starts to get cold in the mornings. Everyone is excited about basketball season. Michigan State, high expectations this season. Going to the tournament isn't enough. Winning the Big Ten isn't enough. These fans want a Final Four, and they want their second national championship.
Going to look at the starting lineups as they're being announced. Here on the Hillsdale side, starting things out, Ashton Janowski and Charles Woodhams, the guards, along with Walt Mattingly. Joe Reuter, we mentioned him already. His production going to be paramount for this Hillsdale team. And then C.J. Yarian, the redshirt freshman, joining them and rounding out that lineup for Hillsdale.
Yeah, Joe Reuter is going to have to be big time this season. He's the only returning starter from last year's team. They lost 6 seniors on that team. So he's going to have to be big time on the floor, big time in the locker room, leading the young guys. But then he's going to have to be productive. Averaged 12 points a game last season, over 6 rebounds. He's going to have to level that up a little bit to get these guys a chance.
And on the Michigan State side, A.J. Hogard is joined by Tyson Walker, Jaden Akins, Malik Hall, and Marty Sissoko, all returners in the starting lineup for Michigan State. A big contrast from that other side.
Really excited to see how A.J. Hogard plays this season. Highly touted, one of the better point guards in the season. He's not being recognized as such. He has that chip on his shoulder. That big game against Kansas State last year, 25.6 assists. We're going to see how he carries this one through.
He mentioned at Media Day that part of what gives him that chip on the shoulder is that lack of recognition that he's been getting. He feels like he's one of the best point guards in the country and hasn't been seeing it from other people that have been making those lists.
Yeah, you see the preseason Bob Cousy work come out, and A.J. Hogard's not on that list. A.J. Hogard deserves to be on that list. You see talking heads talking about A.J. Hogard not being one of the better point guards in the Big Ten. This is one of the better point guards around the country. He gets his job done on both ends of the floor. His decision-making has improved. His shot-making has improved from deep. I'm really looking forward to how this 4-year veteran gets it done.
We're getting ready to get started. Tip-off is coming. Edwin Young to toss it up. Sissoko and Yarian to jump. And we are underway on another basketball season in East Lansing. Michigan State controls and getting into that offensive set. Tyson Walker at the top, working on Janowski. Into the lane and gets right to the free throw line.
It's one of the best things about Tyson Walker's game, being able to play off the bounce, play through contact, get the ball up through the contact, get it to the rim. Tough physical take through the contact, going up to finish.
Tyson Walker to the line, shooting 2.
Walker stepping to the stripe. Just under 80% from the free throw line a year ago. And puts Michigan State on the board. Walker, such a big part of these expectations for Michigan State. Said it didn't take him long to decide to come back to East Lansing after that loss to Kansas State in the Sweet 16 in Madison Square Garden. Walker, a New York native, wasn't satisfied with that end result. Michigan State hounding defensively. Mattingly trying to get it down low to Yarian. Tough hook shot. And Aiken skies in for the board. Michigan State always looking to get in transition. Known for that traditionally under Izzo, but he said he wants to do even more of that than he has over the last few years.
Yeah, when you go against a Michigan State team, you understand that you have to come in the game, sprint in transition, rebound the basketball, and defend the perimeter.
Walker with a triple.
Just love Tyson Walker's aggressiveness early in this game, taking what the defense gives him, whether it's off the dribble, making shots from deep. He's going to have a big-time year this year scoring the basketball on the offensive end.
Tough shot from Mattingly is short. Hogard, little stop and go. Malik Hall from that wing. It's a little too strong. He likes that shot, though, looking from the wings and from the corner specifically.
Malik Hall is going to be key this season. I mean, he went through some injuries last season, missing 4 months, surgery in the offseason. Just getting back in it with his feet under him. It's going to be exciting to watch.
Spartans with a takeaway. Again, trying to get out in transition, but slowing it back down. Hogard for a three. That one back iron. He's trying to improve his three-point shooting. So it feels like that's the next step for him, getting that consistency from deep. Battles out from Woodhams and another Michigan State rebound.
Hillsdale's getting good looks. They just got to start knocking them down.
Hall is fouled. That goes against Janowski. That's already his second. Guy that's really going to be asked a lot out of this Hillsdale team, as really stepping into that role after being a backup point guard a year ago. He's already in some foul trouble.
And that's just Malik Hall making the right decision. I mean, catching the ball on the closeout, not settling for the jumper, putting the ball on the deck, and just drawing a foul, using his big body to get to the basket. Good play.
Finan Walker again. Can't get it to fall. Big board from Sissoko inside, and he draws the foul.
That's what Matty brings to this team. Sissoko is one of the better offensive rebounds across the Big Ten. When that ball goes up, you must check him out because he's coming every single time. He loves to be physical, he loves the contact, and he loves to try and go up there and get it put back.
3 blue jerseys in there, and it still falls to 22 and white.
And that's one of the big focuses for Michigan State this year, rebound the basketball. I mean, historically, they've always been one of the better offensive rebounding team. Just got to get back to that. And this year, they have the athletes, they have the bodies to be able to get to that level.
Sissoko shot 63% from the stripe a year ago. Izzo talked about wanting him to improve on that this offseason because he feels that Sissoko's going to get himself to the line quite a bit, just got to convert. The second from the Spartan center. Makes it 7-0 Michigan State. And the Spartans with a full court pressure. And Malik Hall whistled for the block. A couple of new Chargers in. Freshman Caleb Glazer getting his first taste of action, along with Samuel Vasu, electric scorer from Grand Rapids, into the game as well. Janowski all the way to the bucket. Use that screen. You won't see that type of action too much from this Hillsdale team. More of a motion offense, but Michigan State, you got to get back against the Spartans, and Akins makes them pay.
And Jay Akins is another player on this Michigan State roster that is not being talked about enough nationally. A 40% three-point shooter. He can do it on both ends, but Tom Izzo talks about it. He could be one of the better two-way players across the country with his size, his athleticism, with his shot-making ability. This season's going to be all about decision-making.
Mattingly had the size advantage but couldn't finish with the hook, but takes away that pass. It's going to go right into Hogard. Hogard got a lot of ball there, but reached that arm across and gets whistled for it.
This is just a really good take by Janowski. Matty Sissoko has to come over and stop that basketball. He has to negate that drive, and just a great cross-court pass by Tyson Walker to one of the better shooters in the Big Ten, Jaden Akins. Really expecting a big jump in Jaden Akins' game this season for Michigan State to take that next step to the magic level.
Mattingly didn't have a ton of time last year for this Hillsdale team. A lot of seniors that we talked about. Just 2 free throw attempts a year ago. He's going to get 2 on this one. Knock down the first.
And that's what college basketball is all about, the offseason. The work you put in the offseason, it's going to show come November. And a guy like Mattingly didn't have it going last season, but now he's in the starting lineup. Now he has that opportunity in a larger role.
Jaden Akins setting it up for Hall.
Good move. That's the Malik Hall that I like. The Malik Hall that just goes at the defense, doesn't settle for jumpers, doesn't settle for threes, catches that ball on that low block, and just uses that physicality to get to the basket.
Akins takes it away and is fouled in transition by Cole McWhinney. And here comes the platoon substitution for Michigan State. The crowd is loving it. The Spartans sending 3 freshmen and 2 sophomores in. Fears, Carr, Booker, Holloman, and Cooper.
Zach, I don't know if I've seen this type of standing ovation for 3 freshmen to check into an exhibition game. This is just big time. I mean, you got Xavier Booker, one of the best high school seniors in his high school class last season. Cohen Carr is probably not just the best freshman athlete in the country, but probably one of the best athletes just in the country. And then Jeremy Fears. I mean, Coach Izzo compares Jeremy Fears' leadership style to Mateen Cleaves. And, I mean, that is big time when your coach is giving you that type of praise as a freshman. Even his teammates talk about him. He's in the gym early. He stays late. He pushes his teammate. He's a roommate to Xavier Booker. He pushes him, gets him to the gym early. This freshman class is big time. But we can't forget about Carson Cooper and Trey Holloman either.
Carson Cooper, a guy that they thought was going to redshirt last year, but instead ended up playing some big minutes, especially in the NCAA tournament. Fears to Xavier Booker for 3. Nothing but net.
And that's what he can do. A 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot wingspan. He can finish at the rim, and he can stretch you out from deep.
Good back cut, but can't finish the layup, and Booker soars in for the board. Spartans looking to run with Fears at the helm. Holloman, deep 3. He got it! And a timeout for Hillsdale. It's 18-3 Spartans.
It's a big-time push by Jeremy Fears. First you have Xavier Booker knocking down the shot, showing what he can do from deep. And then this is what Jeremy Fears brings in the transition. A real hard push, finds Trey Holloman open from 3, and he knocks it down.
A quick start for Michigan State, 18-3. The Spartans well out in front, and Hillsdale wanting to talk some things over. Kevin Bradley getting his first taste of action, and a little less than an ideal start for him.
You play against Coach Izzo, you play against Michigan State. It's three staples you have to stick with. Get back on defense in transition, rebound the basketball, allow one-shot opportunities, and take care of the basketball. You cannot allow Michigan State free trips to the basket. So they just got to get some ball movement, some player movement, make some open shots. But this is a lot for these guys, being in this type of environment, a big-time arena, playing in this type of atmosphere.
The first-year coach on the Hillsdale side, the 29th-year coach on the Michigan State side. Hall of Famer Tom Izzo, probably going to cross 700 wins this season, you would think. 687 career wins in East Lansing, and still cooking. Michigan State again picking up full court.
Talking to Coach Izzo today, Zach, he's one of those coaches that when you talk to him, it doesn't matter if you play for him or not. You just feel like he was your coach. I mean, he has that type of leadership, those qualities that you just love to play for, you love to be around.
Cole McWhinney got the screen.
Good D by Jeremy Fears.
Fears with a lot of pressure. Vasu takes him inside, runs into a ton. And I think Xavier Booker got whistled for the foul, jumping over the top.
Jeremy Fears did a great job. He went from guarding the ball to switching on the next ball handler, and then he got the ball exactly where he wanted to. Xavier Booker did not need to come in that moment and jump. He just needs to come in and be big and build a wall. Just a freshman mistake by the big man.
The Chargers on the drive right into Carson Cooper, and he would have none of that. Michigan State looking to run. Cohen Carr hits the deck.
We got robbed. We got robbed of a highlight.
And the crowd feels the same way, Rafael. And he just said, forget the headband.
The headband is what tripped him up.
I don't know if that's exactly how it went, but sometimes that's how it goes.
Coach Izzo talked about speeding up the pace of the game, playing a little bit faster, and this is a part of it. Now he's added a press defense into his defensive regimen to be able to get guys going, but also exhaust guys so guys can get in the game a little quicker.
Carson Cooper with good hands. Knocks it away, and you can tell that Hillsdale just right now doesn't have the length and isn't used to competing against this kind of length that Michigan State has.
And you can just tell that Michigan State is hooked up. Like I said, we talked to Coach Izzo earlier today, and his biggest emphasis was play the game the right way. Play hard, rebound, defend, take care of the ball. Exactly what they're doing early.
Shot falls short. Cohen Carr tipped out the board. Looking right down for Booker. Well, 10-footer doesn't go. Cohen Carr almost took that away from Cooper, but Carson Cooper with the putback. Hillsdale quick in transition. McWhinney thought about that one, but there he is. Fears right on him again. And they go inside on Booker. He picks up the block, but Cooper gets a little too much arm. Charles Woodhams came in on that putback.
Xavier Booker missed the jump shot, but Carson Cooper comes in to clean up the glass. And it wasn't just Carson Cooper. You had Cohen Carr coming in to clean it up as well, so if it wasn't Cooper, it would have been Carr. And then on the other end, Cooper's got to get that rebound. That's the defensive rebound that you've got to have, especially earlier in the season, to start building those habits.
Woodhams rattles in the free throw. Was the sixth man on this Hillsdale squad last year, moves into the starting lineup for this season. He can have a big impact as a junior. Fears. Then it's a Holloman. Garrett Norman into the game for the first time as well. The freshman sharpshooter from Texas. Tried to take it off the drive and lost it out of bounds. Talked with him earlier this year. You hear a lot of the Matt McQuaid comparisons with him. They're both from Texas. They both have similar skill sets. And he said from the day he committed, he got a lot of those. And Trey Holloman hoping to get quite a few of those. Easy layups. Not going to get much easier than that.
When you said Matt McQuaid, I started to get goosebumps. Matt McQuaid was a freshman my senior year in college at Purdue. And, I mean, Matt McQuaid was a guy that came into Michigan State, and we all just knew how talented he was, how tough he was. He wasn't scared. So to be able to have those type of comparisons, that's a good sign.
He said he's talked a lot with Matt in this offseason and coming into this year and really has enjoyed getting to know him, and he's liking those comparisons a little bit. The drive. Arian
Good take.
gets the floater to drop.
It's a good move, being able to get to a spot, pull up over the more athletic defender. Sometimes when you have an athletic defender on you, slow the game down, get to your spot, and take your time.
A lot of that ball screen action up top. Michigan State looking to build off of it. Cooper down low. Battles, goes up, draws the foul, and he'll head to the stripe. That's the second on Yarian. So he'll join Ashton Janowski in a bit of foul trouble.
It's a good move. Just getting to your spot, going up over the taller defender, not driving the ball too deep, playing under control, playing in rhythm. And then Carson Cooper, they're making an effort to get the big fella the basketball. He has a size advantage inside. They're trying to get him to go in early.
Cooper, native of Jackson, Michigan. Played a couple of years at Jackson Northwest and then transferred down to IMG Academy. Pretty lightly recruited coming out, and Michigan State found him, and Izzo talked about him as kind of a diamond in the rough type player, and he's had a few of those over the years and hoping to have Carson Cooper be the next in that line. Splits the pair there. Michigan State still with a 16-point advantage. Woodhams gets by Fears, but slips and loses the basketball. Norman finds Fears looking to attack. Can't finish. But they turn it right back over. Carson Cooper to the lane. Off the glass in the finish.
And that's something Carson Cooper can do. He can put the ball on the floor a little bit, play in that mid-post area, and go and finish. Like you said, being a 6'10", 6'11", being able to finish around the rim, have that soft touch is big time.
Janowski for three. That one too strong, but he's got a good stroke. Aaron Norman was a little late on that closeout. He's going to make teams pay this year for Hillsdale because he can really shoot it. Woodhams.
Could be. Good help.
Cooper gets back to it. Yarian from the top of the key, and it doesn't fall. Michigan State once again pushing. They've done it pretty much every possession. They're getting across half court in a hurry.
I mean, we see last year with a slower tempo, not as much depth as this season, but you can tell early on there's an emphasis on sprinting on both ends.
Good ball movement. Norman comes up short. Quick, crisp passes. Talked about the chemistry of this team and the connectedness, and they're certainly showing it right now. Mattingly drills the triple. But even off a make, they're already across half court. 3 seconds off the shot clock before they're crossing the timeline.
I mean, as an opposing team, there's just no way you can simulate playing against how fast Michigan State pushes the ball when they're at their best.
Nice job to poke that one out by Woodhams. Now Hillsdale looking to push. The Spartans get back and recover. Here switches on to Janowski.
Good help.
Woodhams. Now has Booker on it. Looking to make a move. Gives it up. Good pump fake. One dribble pull up, doesn't fall. And another board for Michigan State. Norman thought about the three, instead will drive, and the reverse lay gets it on the board.
Really good decision from Norman. In transition, could have shot a three, but pass it up to get even better shot at the rim, using that athleticism to use the rim as an offensive teammate and get under that underneath layup.
That breaks a 2-minute scoring drought for Michigan State. Norman picks up the whistle. Garden Mattingly. We're going to step aside. Michigan State in control and pushing all the way through in East Lansing.
Our lab at MSU works on pediatric cancer, and in particular a cancer called neuroblastoma. Our goal is to repurpose drugs that are already FDA approved for different indications, for different diseases, and apply those to the diseases that we study. Well, we have focused specifically on one drug called DFMO. That drug has been very successfully used in African sleeping sickness, so completely unrelated to cancer, but targets the exact same protein. It's called ODC, and that same protein, ODC, is also very important for pediatric cancer. It's not just killing tumors, but more importantly, it might be useful to prevent the relapse. There's nothing more rewarding for a PhD scientist to actually see the hard work save lives and help people. That is more important to me than whatever comes along with it.
Everybody getting involved for Michigan State early in this first half, running up the pace. Seen a lot of newcomers and a lot of returners on this Michigan State side. We've got 11 returners on the Michigan State side along with those newcomers. And for Hillsdale, you see the newcomers, 8 of their players have not played a second of college basketball in a regular season contest coming in. And I think some of that inexperience is showing a little bit early.
Yeah, some of those jitters start to come out and play. I can remember 2015, 2016, our Purdue team, we had 5 freshmen and 1 transfer. So it's a lot in the locker room in that offseason to get that cohesiveness now, to get that continuity down, to get the team chemistry where it needs to be. And then for Michigan State, you talk about these guys, I mean, Tyson Walker's a transfer, and it feels like he's been here forever in his 3rd year. A.J. Hogarth, Malik Hall, these guys were a part of that loss to UCLA, a part of that loss to Duke. I mean, last season against Kansas State, they've seen all the ups and downs of college basketball. This is their year. They feel like they can make it all the way.
You saw that said key loss, Joey Hauser. It also could have said only loss. From last year's team, everybody's back.
Yeah, just a big time. I mean, returning their leadership, returning their scores, returning their veterans. It's always good when you can have young, talented freshmen, young, talented guys come into a locker room of older, mature leaders. And now Xavier Booker, he has a Malik Hall, he has a Matty Sissoko. Jeremy Fears has your A.J. Hogarth and Tyson Walker to learn from. Just a big-time locker room Coach Izzo has going right now.
Feels like it's that way all around the Big Ten this year. I think Purdue brings back everybody. Maryland brings back a good amount of their team. Illinois as well, bringing back Terrence Shannon. The Big Ten's going to be loaded, and they're going to be old this year.
And it's going to be guard dominant in the Big Ten this season. It's going to be good come March.
Joe Reuter with a wing 3. Matty Sissoko brings down the board. Starters back into the game for Michigan State. Getting their 2nd run. And Hogarth will control. Jaden Akins with the ball in his hands.
Good
Malik
move.
Hall
Good move.
just gets to the paint. Couldn't finish it. Mattingly
Hall
brings it
missed the
down.
shot, but that's the type of move, that's the type of aggressiveness that Michigan State fans want to see from Malik Hall all season long.
Deep triple. Falls off to Tyson Walker. Sissoko tried to split. Walker spinning into the lane, lost it, got it back, and it doesn't matter.
When you're born to score, you find ways to score every possession. And Tyson Walker is hungry. You can see the aggressiveness in his eyes, being able to get to a spot, lose control of the ball, get it back, and knock down a 15-footer.
He's got 7 to lead all scorers. There's Joe Reuter. He's still waiting to get on the board. Malik Hall picks up the foul. That's his 2nd. Trying to stop that drive.
That's his 2nd, team 6th.
And Hillsdale begin the bonus from here on out.
Michigan State's got to do a better job of giving the offense a little bit of space. Play without fouling, be physical without using your hands, and get your hands out of there, use your feet, and use your chest.
Logan Beeston again pulling up from that spot.
Michigan State's doing a really good job of keeping Hillsdale out of the paint.
Akins to the lane on the step through. Just couldn't have the finish. Michigan State, especially over the last 5 minutes or so, struggling to finish at the cup. Joe Reuter, too strong. Here comes Hogarth, setting the pace. Will stop and go to the lane and finishes with the left.
Really good push and transition from A.J. Hogarth, just taking the opportunity when the defense presented it. But that was a really good seal by Mady Sissoko inside the paint, not allowing his defender to come around and block that layup.
Janowski trying to get to the lane again. Dishes it to Glazer. I think Walker got his hand on that one. Malik Hall tried to dish it to Sissoko, but that lane closed.
Got to throw that one up a little bit to the big fella.
Janowski, nice move, gives it up, and Mattingly finishes. Hall tried to make up for it. Instead, Mattingly gets the bucket. Liked what I've seen from him so far. He's got 6. Coach Bradley was high on his potential this year. What a find. Akins, got it.
We've already seen Jaden Akins make a 3. Now we're seeing him play off the bounce. He's really improved in this offseason, and not just his shot-making ability, but his decision-making. And Coach Izzo is going to trust him more this season, put the ball in his hands, and let him create opportunities for him and the others.
Janowski. Hogarth all over him.
Good D. Good D.
Ruder was trying to cut Malik Hall. Couldn't save it. It'll be Hillsdale ball when we come back. Michigan State extending upon that lead. It's 33-12 at the under 8 from the Breslin.
If you're looking for the biggest Big Ten experience, then welcome home. The Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Personalized with your pass so you get your favorite Big Ten sports and schools streaming and on demand. We're the home of compelling stories, the iconic games, hundreds of exclusive events you can't find anywhere else. Because when it comes to the Big Ten sports you love, there's no plus like home. Only on the Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Download and subscribe now.
State freshman class has had a lot of hype surrounding it, as well as freshman forward Cohen Carr, who has taken the nation virally by storm because of his ability to dunk. What's insane about Carr is that the MSU strength and conditioning staff measured his vertical jump at 48 inches. For reference, that is the NBA combine record set by Keon Johnson, which is unreal. Earlier today, he was named to the Julius Erving preseason award watch list as well, which is named for the best small forward in the country. He's got a lot of potential, but there's still room to grow as well. Now back over to Zach with the call.
So, there's really not enough that you can say about the athleticism of Cohen Carr.
I mean, Cohen Carr, like we said earlier, he's not just one of the more athletic freshmen in the country. He's probably one of the more athletic players across the country, and maybe even at the next level with the way he can jump out the gym, the way he can slide his feet, move laterally. But the next step in his game is going to be figuring out the half court, being able to be functional in half-court basketball offensively, make open jump shots, play off the bounce, make good decisions. But he's a guy, he can play on the wing, he can play down low a little bit, he can do a little bit of everything. Defensively, he's going to be a juggernaut with his size and his athleticism ability.
And if he can figure things out in the half court, you got to think he can be, you could see him in the lottery.
Yeah, with this type of athleticism, you hear Coach Izzo talk about Jason Richardson, and you saw how Jason Richardson struggled to shoot the ball his freshman year at Michigan State. That next offseason, he got in the gym. I think he actually broke 2 gun machines shooting the ball, practicing his jumper. If Cohen Carr can get that, he'll be right there with him.
Talk about athleticism. What a nice play there from Tyson Walker.
Good pass. Good idea.
Here comes Hillsdale 3-on-1. Tried to leave it back.
Good closeout.
Well, swinging around, Mikey McCullum rattles it out, and Malik Hall with the board. The foul situation here. Both these teams getting close to shooting free throws the rest of the way in this first half. Sissoko battling, hook shot, pure from the Spartan center. The freshman Connor Stonebreaker in there, and there's nothing that he could do on that one. The length of Sissoko is making a big difference there.
If Matty Sissoko can catch the ball on the block and score offensively, it just helps this team. Good drive, being able to get to the basket, get to the middle of that paint, go up and finish through the contact.
And one to try and give some momentum there. Now here's another look at that Sissoko finish.
Sissoko being able to score the ball on the block just adds an added dimension to this Michigan State offense. I mean, you can see over the course of the season last year, the guards just felt more confident to throw the ball up to him. But if he can catch you on the block and give you two, it's going to be big time for the Spartans.
Cole McWhinney couldn't convert that three-point play. Hoggard right to the rim and gets right to the stripe. He was one of the best in the country last year at doing just that. He averaged over 5 fouls drawn per 40 minutes, which was all the way up, looking at 5th in the Big Ten.
I mean, big physical point guard. I mean, 200 pounds. He can finish through contact. He can make a 15-foot jumper. If A.J. Hoggard can stretch his jump shot out to that three-point range, it'd be really tough to stop in the half court.
He couldn't hit that one, but with the fouls drawn, the other big improvement that you saw from Hoggard last season was the free throw percentage. He shot 80% from the line, was towards the top of the Big Ten, coming in at 12.
The maturation of A.J. Hoggard has been wonderful to watch. I mean, we go back to that UCLA game. You go to that next season, these guys lose to Duke. And then last season, I mean, almost halfway through the year, he gets benched. And he gets sent to the bench. Then they go out to Penn State in his hometown area, gets 22 points on the road, gives Coach Izzo a big hug after the game, and you can finally see him start to get it, start to see what it takes to be a point guard for this program and be a leader on the floor and off. Really excited about what A.J. Hoggard can bring to the table this year.
He tested the NBA draft waters this past offseason, but decided he was coming back. There's Tyson Walker getting into it. It's loose, and it's a 10-second violation.
There you go.
Walker doesn't get the steal, but he forced the turnover nonetheless.
And you can see the emotion come out of him. He's screaming. I mean, your best player is diving on the floor when you're up 20 in the exhibition game. This is the type of leadership that you have to have when you're a veteran, when you're a 3-year starter, when you're a captain. You've got to show these young guys up 20, down 20. This is how we play Spartan basketball. We're on the floor every single time. You got to love that effort in late October.
Trey Holloman running the set. Walker thought about that one from way deep. He'll get it back. He can't find bottom of the net there. Big rebound from Reuter. Had Cohen Carr on his back.
Huge rebound from Reuter. There's one thing about Cohen Carr. When that shot goes up, he's attacking that offensive glass every time. Another steal by Tyson Walker.
His hands are always working.
Tough.
Carson Cooper snatches down the board and draws the foul.
It's a really good possession by Michigan State. I mean, the effort, the attitude, the connectedness on the defensive end, everything clicked in that possession.
That's his first. The team 7.
That'll send Cooper to the line. He's got 1 and 1.
Shooting 1 and 1 for Michigan State is number 15, Carson Cooper.
Cooper split the pair. His last trip to the line. He's got a lot of athleticism coming from that spot. And for that big, tall frame that he's got, he can move really well. It's going to be dangerous off the pick and roll, working with guys like A.J. Hoggard and Jeremy Fears off of that roll. Reuter got some space. Cohen Carr lost his shoe. Reuter missed the bunny. And Carr gets the rebound, 1 shoe and all.
Great recovery, great block by Carson Cooper. Just being aware, knowing what's going on. Good move.
Oh, Holloman couldn't handle the pass. Walker goes right to pick him up. The Spartans trading buckets, still in front by 21. So we hit the under 4 from East Lansing right here on Big Ten Plus. The fans enjoying some fun in East Lansing as we take a look back to the last time, or the last two times that Hillsdale came here. There were some pretty good Michigan State teams. See Draymond Green there back in 2011. Then you fast forward a little bit to the team in 2017-18. That team was littered with high-end talent. Jaron Jackson getting in on the action. Cassius Winston, Josh Langford, Miles Bridges, all around that team. That team was dangerous as well. And Michigan State hoping this team can be up with that level.
I mean, this team definitely has a chance. They have the leadership to do it. They have the athleticism to do it. They have the shooters to do it, the shot makers. It's just all about putting it all together and bringing it every single game. This Michigan State team, a lot of the games this year will be Michigan State versus Michigan State. If they do what they have to do, they'll be happy more nights than they're not.
You see the 10-0 record for Michigan State. 8 of those were back before 1950, when Michigan State wasn't Michigan State. They were Michigan Agricultural College. They played Hillsdale 8 times in the regular season, won all 8 meetings in that stretch between 1900 and 1948. Now they're getting at it a little bit different levels of these programs at this point, but Michigan State always seems to do this with at least one of their exhibitions, just finding their way to get to schedule some of these in-state schools and give them the exposure and the experience that you don't always get. For these schools, we've seen Grand Valley State here, we've seen Ferris State, all sorts of these teams this year at Hillsdale.
A lot of these guys on this Hillsdale team, they grew up in Michigan. They've always dreamed of playing in this arena. So this is a big-time game for them, their families. They're at home watching, their friends. It's just a big-time environment to be able to grow up in this state, watch Tom Izzo, watch all the Final Fours, feel like you're a part of it, and now you feel like now you get the opportunity to come and play in this gym and play against a legendary coach and program.
And Michigan State right back with that full court press again. Fears forces the travel. Janowski tried to find himself a timeout but couldn't get it.
I've been watching Jeremy Fears since he was 16, 17 years old. I know this is Michigan State, but there's just one word to describe Jeremy Fears, and that is he is a dog. On both ends of the floor, he gets after it. He goes hard every single possession.
I've loved watching Fears over the last couple of weeks at Michigan State practice. Gets to his shot there, couldn't finish it, but Cooper just too big inside. Fears looking to attack, and now we'll slow it down. Cohen Carr off the drive, gets inside. Tough shot, just too strong. First points for Cohen Carr.
Just a really good ability to put the ball on the floor and get to his spot. Not settling for a jumper, not turning it over. Get to his spot, use his athletic ability to go up and finish.
Janowski almost lost it again. He's having some trouble with Fears. Fears looked like he took a shot.
Showtime.
But he goes to the bucket, and here we go. Hello, Cohen Carr. Welcome to East Lansing.
I feel like that's what everybody in this gym came to see.
The Spartan crowd is loving it. You're going to see plenty of that throughout this season. Woodham's working on Fears, got it back and puts it in.
And that is what Michigan State has been missing the last few years, that dynamic athlete to go up and finish above the rim.
Here they go, Trey Holloman and one.
Cohen Carr being able to go in transition and finish with the best of them in the country. Jumping from outside the lane with that left hand, strong, dynamic, just hanging on rims, punishing the rims. And then Trey Holloman on the very next possession, being able to come in transition, finish through contact. But this guy, Cohen Carr, going to be one of the more exciting players to watch across the country. He's going to be on SportsCenter more nights than not.
It's a good place to be. Trey Holloman, he's played pretty well as well. He's got 7, looking to make it 8 here. Perfect from the field, 3 for 3, including a triple. They've talked a lot about his confidence growing from year 1 to year 2. They think he's going to be a big part of this team.
We talked to Coach Izzo, and he said if there's one guy, if he had to pinpoint one, Trey Holloman will be that guy that's really improved this offseason, improved his game, worked on his body, and his confidence, like you mentioned, playing at this level. Good
There
pass.
he is, leaking out and finds Carson Cooper with the lob. And then Holloman right back, picking up Janowski full court.
Carson Cooper's playing extremely well, finishing around the rim, being a rim protector, sprinting in transition. You can see the improvement in the effort that he's putting to this game in the offseason.
Reuter still can't connect from deep. He's had a couple of nice drives, but hasn't been able to knock one down from downtown. Fears, nice stop, jump shot. Just inside the free throw line. Dropping it home.
The body control, getting to the middle of the paint, playing off two. Just veteran moves from the young guy, getting it done early.
Janowski getting inside and stuffed by Booker. What a look at the oop there to Cooper.
Trey Holloman put the ball exactly where it needed to be, only where Carson Cooper can catch it and go up and finish. A great pass, great finish by the big man.
Davis Smith into the contest for the first time. Walt Mattingly, too strong, a good board. They're brought down by Beeston. Davis Smith, son of Michigan State legend, longtime NBA guy Steve Smith. Janowski still can't find the shot. Hillsdale just 1 of 12 from behind the arc. But back to Davis Smith, a good story for Smith. He was on this Michigan State team as a walk-on when he first got here, earned himself a scholarship, got put on scholarship before last season, and has really improved in his time here in a big way.
I mean, as teammates, good finish.
Carson Cooper, beautiful pass to set him up. And too much space baseline.
Carson Cooper's in big time in this first half. 9 points, 5 rebounds, a couple blocks, just doing it all on both ends.
Almost added another rebound to the total, but couldn't keep it in the hands. Michigan State on a 6-0 run. They've hit all of their last 6 from the field.
Carson Cooper with the big time finishing, catching it in the mid post, and spin off of his defender and get to the basket. I mean, you love this type of effort from a Carson Cooper. All offseason, he's had to hear about how great Xavier Booker was, and that's his teammate, and he loves him, but he wants to come out here and show how he should be on the floor as well, and he should be being productive and getting those minutes.
And he's going to have to step up with Jackson Kohler's injury. You've got more minutes down there at the 4 and the 5, and Cooper's going to get a lot of them. Holloman, quick little cross, wing 3. Doesn't fall, Smith couldn't put it back up. And we head to the break. All Spartans, 47-20 through one half of play in East Lansing. The Big Ten Plus halftime show coming up on the other side of the break from East Lansing.
Growing up, I watched my dad work incredibly hard, and he instilled a very strong work ethic in me. And when I think about Trailblazers and I think about my time at Michigan State, I looked around, I saw lots of people working incredibly hard to really master their skills. That's something that I tried to carry throughout my career. No matter what job I was doing, I tried to do it with excellence and integrity. If I can help impart my knowledge from the experiences that I've had to help people grow and develop, that's an important aspect of what we do as leaders. The best days at Home Depot were the days that I'm in the stores, in distribution centers, in call centers with our frontline associates, listening to what they think and what they need. Those are the best days as a CEO. I'm Craig Benier, former CEO of the Home Depot and a Michigan State graduate.
Welcome into the studio for the Big Ten Plus halftime show on the campus of Michigan State University. I'm Lexi Alston.
And I'm AJ Evans. We're going to break down the first half and take a look at some of the key players so far tonight.
We're going to start off with some of the best plays from the first half. AJ, what'd you see?
Well, it's been a well-balanced attack, Lexi. There's been a lot to like so far in this first half. A lot of guys got off to really good starts. We see Tyson Walker there drilling the three-pointer. He's gotten off to a really nice start. There he is getting into the paint once again, finding Jaden Akins for the three-pointer. He's also made a couple of shots as well. Malik Hall's been terrific. He's looking to have a big year rebounding from that injury. And Jeremy Fears has done a nice job. He's got a handful of assists. There he is finding Trey Holloman for the three-pointer. He's worked really hard on his jumper so far this year. And then the freshman that everyone's talking about, Xavier Booker, getting the miss, followed by Carson Cooper, who's expected to also have a big year in the post as well. Hillsdale's done a nice job, trying to find a way to play with this team. Michigan State has done a really nice job. They've got a lot of weapons on defense, and they've had their hands full. It's been quite a challenge, but Michigan State's gotten off to a really nice start so far. And there's highlight reel play from Carson Cooper, the electrifying freshman that everyone is talking about. He got their fans on their feet. He's going to be so fun to watch, and the Breslin Center is going to be rocking because of him.
There's no doubt there's a lot to like from the Spartans from that first half. Let's take a look at how some of the stats lined up.
Yeah, like I said, it's been a well-balanced attack for Michigan State. They've gotten off to a really nice start so far, and it's pretty much been one-sided when you think about it in a lot of ways. Michigan State is up by a ton so far, and a handful of guys have scored. So once again, like I said, there's been a lot to like. And there we go, taking a look at the graphics here. Michigan State shooting 63% from the field, 40% from behind the arc. They've only gotten 4 offensive rebounds. That's something Tom Izzo has talked a lot about. This team is going to have to rebound if they want to find ways to win games. He talked about it at Media Days. He said there's a lot to like with this team, but if there's one aspect that is a glaring weakness on this roster so far, it's rebounding.
Very one-sided for the Spartans on that stat lines, but one of the biggest contributors to the Spartan offense is Tyson Walker.
Yeah, he's been terrific so far. Like I said, he set the tone on both ends of the floor, and Tom Izzo has talked about him since he's gotten to Michigan State as being the best two-way guard that Michigan State has had since Gary Harris, and that's a lot to live up to, but he's done it. I mean, he's always finding ways to score. He's a 3-level scorer. He always finds ways to hit threes, and he just makes tough shots. He's a bucket getter. A lot of people consider him to be one of the best shooting guards in the country. He's certainly going to have a lot of eyes on him this season. Defenses are going to be game planning specifically for him, but he gets it done on the defensive end as well.
You got to give some credit to A.J. Hogard and Jaden also for the time they spent this summer putting in work towards their body, getting ready for the season.
Yeah, A.J. Hogard and Jaden Akins and Tyson Walker, they make up what many people to believe the best guard trio in the country. These guys have been terrific, and they've worked really hard on their bodies, and they're all expected to have big-time years.
It's still very early in the season, and there's a long way to go for both of these teams. We're going to take a quick break and be right back with some highlights from this week of Michigan State Spartan Sports.
Our lab at MSU works on pediatric cancer, and in particular a cancer called neuroblastoma. Our goal is to repurpose drugs that are already FDA approved for different indications, for different diseases, and apply those to the diseases that we study. Well, we have focused specifically on one drug called DFMO. That drug has been very successfully used in African sleeping sickness, so completely unrelated to cancer, but targets the exact same protein. It's called ODC, and that same protein, ODC, is also very important for pediatric cancer. It's not just killing tumors, but more importantly, it might be useful to prevent the relapse. There's nothing more rewarding for a PhD scientist to actually see the hard work save lives and help people. That is more important to me than whatever comes along with it.
Welcome back into the studio. I'm Lexi Olsen.
And I'm AJ Evans. We're going to take you through some highlights across the Michigan State campus this week. Starting off at DeMartin Stadium, the Michigan State women's soccer team faced off against Iowa on Sunday. Sitting at 20 points in the Big Ten, the Spartans needed to win to tie Nebraska for a share of the Big Ten regular season title. Starting off here early in the first half and only 3 minutes in, Maggie Illick hits a chip shot over the Iowa keeper for the first goal off the low corner. That was beautiful. Let's take another look at that one there. Now moving on to the second half. Here's MJ Andrus passing it back to Bella Najera, who rockets a shot from outside the goal box and scores for her 7th of the season. And then, fouled in the box in the 78th minute, Michigan State called on Celia Gaynor for the penalty kick, and she scores her 1st of the season. With the 3-0 victory, Michigan State now holds a share of their 2nd consecutive regular Big Ten season title. And Michigan State will face off against Iowa on Sunday in the Big Ten tournament, where the winner will go to Lower.com Field in Columbus for the semifinal.
Now onto the ice. The number 8 Michigan State hockey team took on Canisius at Munn Ice Arena over the weekend. Michigan State came out strong and dominated the play for the majority of their first game of 2 against Canisius, with Daniel Russell scoring a hat trick in the first 30 minutes of the game, and freshman goalie Trey Augustine collecting 42 saves to help lead the Spartans to a 6-3 victory. The Spartans decided to call on Luca DePasquale for his first start in net, and he did not disappoint, making a highlight reel save just minutes into the game. AJ, we're going to have to take another look at that one right there.
Look at that one more time. That's beautiful.
Freshman sensation Artem Levishino continues to fill the net for the Spartans, scoring his second goal of the series and third of the year to put the Spartans up 1-1. Now we're halfway through the second period as Canisius was able to find the back of the net with Griffin Logren deflecting the puck past DePasquale to help capitalize on the power play. Just over a minute later, transfer Reed Lebster does it all on his own, taking the puck all the way down the ice, beating the Canisius defender and goalie to put Michigan State back up by 1. AJ, again, we'll have to take another look at that one.
Terrific.
Canisius tried to battle back late, but it wasn't enough as Michigan State scored 2 more in the third period to make the final score 4-3, sweeping their first 2 home series since 2008. Michigan State will travel to Massachusetts next week to take on the number 3 ranked Boston College for their first big test of the season.
Now back to DeMartin. The men's soccer team hosted Ohio State yesterday for the Big Ten regular season finale. Ohio State came out swinging in the first half with 2 goals from Luciano Pachota and Marko Borkovic. Michigan State scrambled to get shots in at the end of the half but couldn't make up the difference. Right out of halftime in the 47th minute, the Spartans are fouled on the box and the call goes on Sean Kerrigan to net his 5th penalty kick goal of the season. Down 2-1 and firing back, Jonathan Stout scores the equalizer in the 78th minute, and the teams are all tied up. And in the waning minutes of the match, Luciano Pachota gets past Spartan defenders and rifles in the game-winning goal. And that was MSU's first loss of the season. Looking at the Big Ten standings, Northwestern, Penn State, and Michigan State are all tied at the top with 13 points, with Indiana sitting right behind with a close 12. Indiana faces off against Rutgers and Bloomington on Sunday, which will decide the regular season championship. That's all for our studio show tonight. Don't go anywhere. Coming up right after this break, Zach and Rafel will take us home through the second half.
Growing up, I watched my dad work incredibly hard, and he instilled a very strong work ethic in me. And when I think about Trailblazers and I think about my time at Michigan State, I looked around, I saw lots of people working incredibly hard to really master their skills. That's something that I tried to carry throughout my career. No matter what job I was doing, I tried to do it with excellence and integrity. If I can help impart my knowledge from the experiences that I've had to help people grow and develop, that's an important aspect of what we do as leaders. The best days at Home Depot were the days that I'm in the stores, in distribution centers, in call centers with our frontline associates, listening to what they think and what they need. Those are the best days as a CEO. I'm Craig Manier, former CEO of the Home Depot and a Michigan State graduate.
Welcome back to the Breslin Center in East Lansing. Michigan State taking on Hillsdale in a strong first half for the Spartans. It's been a blast.
It's been a big-time game. I mean, Michigan State came into this game understanding that they have to play the game the right way. They're rebounding at a high level. They're shooting at 40% from deep, 60% from the field. And then on their 19 field goals made, they have 14 assists on them. They're just playing the game at a high level, playing how they should be.
Playing really fast as well.
I mean, it's exactly what you want to see if your time is. I mean, last season they played at a slower tempo. This season, Coach wants to pick that up a little bit, and he's pushing the ball offensively in transition, off of misses, off of makes like he normally does. But now we're starting to see them pick up full court, and it's not just the point guard. It's not their guards. We've seen Malik Hall pick up full court. You've seen Cohen Carr pick up full court. Just getting an added level of dimension to find ways to get this pace up.
And you've seen a lot of different styles of Michigan State basketball. This is year 125 of Michigan State basketball. A lot of different things going on, a lot of success. A lot of it's come in the Izzo era, but look at some of that footage. I mean, you got some black and white there. You've got some Magic Johnson in there, throwing some dimes. A little give and go. Mateen Cleaves going at it. Talked about him already tonight with the comparisons to Fears, but he was pretty good. And they had one of those after that. That always helps.
That's the big time. I mean, that's what every college player dreams of.
Spartans looking for another parade down Grand River this season in East Lansing, hoping to raise a couple of more banners up in the rafters here in East Lansing. It's been a few years since they've done so. That last Final Four back in 2019. I know it's a mark of your program when we're mentioning 4 years ago as the been a minute, but that really is the standard that this group has set under Tom Izzo.
I mean, we listen to Coach Izzo talk about it. I mean, on average, they go to a Final Four every 3 years. I mean, that type of consistency is just unprecedented at this level. He does things the right way. He goes about things the way he should be. These guys believe in him. He takes care of them off the court. He takes care of them after graduation. This is a real family atmosphere here at Michigan State, and it doesn't end when you stop playing here.
Well, it's early in Exhibition 1, but they look good so far. We're going to step aside, be back on the other side of the break with half number 2 from the Breslin Center on Big Ten Plus.
The will to make a difference, to lift up, to look forward. It's been at our core since day one. As one of the nation's leading research universities, Michigan State is driven to pursue excellence for the common good. Our will is what unites us across cultures, disciplines, decades, working together for a better tomorrow. Spartans will.
Crowd's having a party, and it's been a lot of fun here in East Lansing. Zach Sardenik, joined by Raphael Davis. We're glad that you guys joined us here on Big Ten Plus. It's been a lot of work into this production, but it's been a lot of fun.
Oh yeah, I mean, I appreciate you guys having me a part of the production. I mean, being at Michigan State, coming into this season, top 5 team in the country with all of these expectations. Then you have Coach Izzo, he's adding to the expectations. You see what Colin Carr can do in transition. We've seen what Xavier Booker can do offensively. The play style of a point guard like Jeremy Fears. We've seen what Norman can do off the bounce, getting to the basket. So we see what these young guys bring. We know what the older guys bring to the table with their play, with their athleticism, with their strengths. It's going to be a good year for this Michigan State team.
They're certainly hoping so. The expectations are higher here than they have been in a while. Get a look at the coaching comparison between those two. It's the first season for Kevin Bradley, and those 3 consecutive tourney appearances as the associate head coach. That's the most consecutive in Hillsdale program history. They're looking to continue that, but the numbers for Izzo speak for themselves.
I mean, Coach Izzo is just big time, a big time person, big time coach, big time leader. Just does everything for this program, everything they ask of him. And I just love, like we said earlier, how he takes care of his guys. It does not end at Michigan State. He has these guys for the rest of their life.
We've had one half of play here in East Lansing. A good start for Michigan State. Hillsdale looking to build on some things. But with more on that, Owen Ozust talked to a couple of the coaches, and he's got more.
Zach, I talked to Austin Thornton, who was in that locker room for Michigan State. He said it's pretty calm, which is pretty unusual, but they're also up by 27 points. Big thing they want to work on is making free throws. They're 4 of 9 here at halftime. Also crashing the glass have been good. There's a lot of good things that they're happy with. Ball pressure as well. They've been getting a lot of ball pressure and passing. But for overall, they're pretty happy with how they've done.
Thanks, Owen. Kevin Bradley just trying to have his team be a little better than they were last week and better than they were yesterday and continue to improve, and talked about that all week long.
It's about building consistency at this level, being able to come out here and put forth the same effort that you do every single day, every single game, every single practice. This is a new starting lineup, a new group, a new locker room. It's going to take time for them to build and grow with each other. Coach just wants them to play hard, play the right way offensively, move the basketball, move bodies, set screens, get other people open, and then defensively move on a string. They're learning that early in this one. They should be able to take them on throughout the rest of the season.
They're going to try and start the second half a little better than they started the first. Struggled with Michigan State's pressure.
And for Michigan State, it's about having that same intensity that you had to start the game. These first 5 minutes, you got to bring that fire and bring that fight to try to step on Hillsdale right now.
On that Michigan State side, as Owen said, emphasizing those free throws. Spartans just 5 of 10 from the stripe in that first half. Woodhams gives to Mattingly, and he buries it.
Good ball movement, good player movement, not over dribbling, finding the open man. And against Michigan State, you know they switch everything. So it's about having those little slips, fading through it, and understanding just keep moving.
Mattingly's probably been the best player for this
it.
Hillsdale team so far. He got away with that one, and he's going to go to the stripe.
Matty got away with a travel right there, but I mean, the big fella caught the ball in traffic, great catch, used the footwork, although it maybe had been a travel, he better get himself to the free throw line.
I'm sure he'll take it.
He'll take it every day of the week.
There's another, yeah.
He jumped when he caught it,
yeah. I bet you never got away with any of those when you were playing, right?
The biggest thing I think I got away with fouling every single possession. I fouled guys from the time they got off the bus to the time they got their pizza after the game.
It's what it takes to win Defensive Player of the Year in the Big Ten?
That's all. They can't call them all. I was talking to Aaron Kraft and Lewis Jackson, and that's what we all came to. They can't call them all.
Some pretty good defenders in that mix. Michigan State's got quite a few of those good defenders as well. They've been causing a lot of havoc.
I mean, they got 3 guards that could be 3 of the best defenders in the conference. I mean, Tyson Walker, he's already run himself a Defensive Player of the Year at his previous school. A.J. Hogarth can guard the 1, 2, the 3. He can guard multiple players. And then Jay Nakins could probably be the best two-way player in the Big Ten if he continues to progress.
Marion with an air ball, and the Izzone's going to let him hear about that one.
Good pass.
Walker for 3. Rattles it home. And he hit that shot. He was immediately trying to create a turnover the other way. And they almost got it there on that tip from Akins.
Just a really solid push from A.J. Hogarth in transition to be able to get to that elbow, get into the paint, and make the right decision. Once Janowski helps a little bit, he gets the ball out of his hands. Sometimes making the right pass is getting the ball there on time. You don't want to hold on it too long. Great job by Hogarth.
And you cannot help off of Tyson Walker. Janowski still couldn't get it. A nice tip to keep it alive. Woodhams has it, trying to draw the foul, but Malik Hall wasn't having any of it. Walker quick up the floor to Hogarth. Couldn't finish through contact. And now Woodhams will push the other way. Sissoko had a nice seal, but didn't hold it. And that allowed for that contest.
Good pass.
Nice find, but couldn't finish the layup. Akins. Wraparound. Walker again. Not this time. Swing to Akins, and he'll take care of it.
We know Jaden Akins can make shots, but he's added just an even better shot-making ability this offseason. I mean, he's a dead-eye shooter, but that pass he made to Tyson Walker in the corner, that's what he's really added to his game this offseason.
Reuter got by. Sissoko wasn't letting him have the dunk, and he did not like that call.
It's a strong drive by Reuter. His jumper's not falling in this one. Being able to get to the basket was big time.
There's that 3 off of the offensive rebound.
And Joe Reuter, like we said, it's not going down from him from deep, but having the ability to get to the basket and go up through contact and get himself to the free throw line, just be able to build up some rhythm.
Tom Izzo wants to talk things over. We're going to take a break. Michigan State in front, 55-23 from the Breslin Center. Welcome back to East Lansing. 55-23 the score. Early in the second half, Michigan State's on an 8-0 run, and yet Izzo still wants to talk things over. This isn't the only big game on the Breslin Center floor. Volleyball on Big Ten Plus on Friday night. Taylor Hold'em and Sarah Franklin Both getting ready to light it up. Sarah Franklin, the former Spartan, leading second-ranked Wisconsin, fresh off of that tight loss to then number 2 Nebraska, who took over the number 1 spot. Wisconsin's going to be coming into East Lansing with something to prove. You catch that game on Friday night here on Big Ten Plus. Tom Izzo talking things over with his team. Still looking to see more out of this group, even though the numbers would say they've played pretty well.
He wants to continue to play the right way. You don't, in these type of games and exhibitions, the players start to play the score, the refs start to ref the score, but you got to be able to come out here and play the right way for 40 minutes and be able to play with the type of intensity that you're going to have to play with, not maybe against Hillsdale in this second half, but against the Purdue's of the world, against Duke in a few weeks. I mean, they have Arizona, they have Baylor. So this game is more about Michigan State keeping up their effort and their energy and not letting it drop any.
Michigan State with another test. I know it's an exhibition, but Sunday should be a good one. Spartans taking on Tennessee on Big Ten Network.
Sunday should be. I mean, you don't get this type of basketball early November. I mean, Sunday should be a real big-time basketball. I mean, Coach Barnes, Coach Izzo, top 5 matchup, it'd be big time.
And it's a good cause as well, doing it to raise money, help out with the fires in Maui.
Yep.
Really unfortunate situation all around. The Maui tournament still happening this year. They moved it to Honolulu, and a loaded field in that tournament this year.
It's not an event in the country like the Maui Invitational. I haven't played in it once. I mean, you get to go to Hawaii, spend time with your teammates, play great competition. Just a great event all around. Glad they're able to do that for that cause.
Jaden Akins looking for another. This one comes up short.
Gotta love how aggressive Jaden Akins is in this game. You gotta keep that the entire season.
You saw the athleticism he bought trying to fight and get that steal, but was able to recover and get back quickly against a guy who's not slow in Janowski. Here's the freshman Glazer. Give up to Reuter. Top of the key, still can't get it. Malik Hall has bothered Joe Reuter a little bit. 1 for 8 from the field. Just 2 points for the returning leading scorer for this Hillsdale squad. Cross court. Hogarth steps into the 3. Doesn't get it to fall. Sissoko whistled for going over the back of Glazer. Here comes Carson Cooper and Xavier Booker. And this crowd really likes Carson Cooper. You're hearing the Coop chants quite a bit.
He's been having a great game. He had an excellent first half, 9 points, 5 rebounds, a couple blocks. He's doing exactly what you would expect a sophomore to do in their next season. Just got better this offseason and showing it right now.
Glazer, the freshman, outside. No working around for Mattingly. And Walker able to tip it away.
Tyson Walker just has that quickness and that innate ability to go after the basketball. I mean, it's taller offensive player trying to post him up, able to get around in front and get his hand on that ball.
Reuter on the drive, gets into the lane, and again can't finish it. Deep shot, McWhinney. And Reuter with a hustle board.
Those are the plays you got to have. You can't have those mental lapses. Those are the plays that get you beat by Kansas State. I know it's early, but you got to take those plays to heart every single possession.
Mattingly, it's a size advantage on Walker. Gives up to Vasu. He's in trouble, tough shot. Couldn't get it to fall. And Reuter again on the boards. Cooper knocked it out. But Tom Izzo screaming for a timeout, and he will get one. The Spartans playing some strong defense, but can't finish off this possession. Hillsdale with 3-0 boards on this one. They'll have it when we come back to the Breslin.
I'm just going to talk into it using your thing. Breslin Center as Michigan State is currently up big. Coach Tom Izzo isn't typical to give the quickest for compliments. Earlier this year, he called Fears his Mateen Cleaves 20 years later, comparing their leadership skills. Cleaves was a captain for MSU for 3 seasons and helped the Spartans to the national championship. Cleaves also was the one who made the comparison himself of Fears having similar characteristics of strength, leadership, and passing as well. Fears has been dubbed and nicknamed the floor general, and even as a freshman, he's already made his impact felt at Michigan State. He doesn't need to be a captain yet, but you can certainly look for him to be one in the future. Back over to you, Zach.
Thank you, Owen. Gotta expect great things from Jeremy Fears. Izzo straight up said he has no doubts that he's going to be great at Michigan State.
I mean, when I hear Coach Izzo, when I hear head coaches, when they have a freshman, they talk about leadership from their freshmen. I mean, that's just big time. I mean, even to compare it to Mateen Cleaves, a guy who's hanging in the rafters, one of the best leaders in program history. I mean, if you're a fan, you're someone that's excited about Michigan State basketball, you can't help but be uberly excited about a guy like Jeremy Fears.
Reuter on the drive. Aikens got the hand in, and it's going to Michigan State. And a quick point right at Tom Izzo coming out of that. Well, I got you.
I mean, we see the possession before. I mean, 2 offensive rebounds in a row for Hillsdale. You see the frustration from A.J. Hogarth, from Coach Izzo. That's just not good enough. These guys got to get rebounds. They got to play hard every single possession. You see him get on Xavier Booker a little bit right there. Xavier Booker is talented. He's skilled. He's got to play harder. He's got to play hard every single time down the floor.
Hillsdale tried to get the full court press and trap Hogarth, but he's got enough experience to quickly draw that foul. The kick to Booker. Quick release. Got another one. Second triple for Xavier Booker. Sue on the drive. Couldn't shake Hogarth. Poked away right to Aikens. We saw Carr earlier. This time Aikens with the lay. I think if he didn't get bumped a little bit, he was going for showtime.
That was just a great defensive effort collectively. I mean, Carson Cooper moving his feet, not fouling. A.J. Hogarth coming in to give some help. And then Jay Nakins going up to finish. Just everyone was on the string on that possession right there for Michigan State.
There's the look at that Booker 3. Just so smooth with the release.
I mean, lefty, long, athletic, can make shots from perimeter, can make 15-footers. If he figures out the play hard side of college basketball, it's going to be scary for opposing teams over the next couple years, if he's still here.
McWinney left it short. Talked about Booker, if he's still here. He's been all over the draft boards. Some places have had him as a top 10 pick. Others have had him lower in the first round or early second round. He's been one of the more polarizing prospects of this class.
I mean, 6'10", 6'11", 7-foot wingspan, can knock down threes, can be a rim protector, block shots at the basket, can rebound, can pass. It's just about putting it all together for Xavier Booker. But he'll be right there playing at the next level.
I talked with him earlier about kind of who he models his game after, and he mentioned 2 NBA guys that he kind of watches at that size, looking at Kevin Durant, looking at Chet Holmgren. You can see some of those elements with the ability from the perimeter and just the length and rim protection in his game.
And even just in the Michigan State sense, I mean, you go back, you think of guys like Adrian Payne. I mean, playing at that position, that 4 spot, can make a 3, can finish at the rim, can rebound. It's just a dog athletically. I mean, Michigan State hasn't had those type of guys these last couple years. I think guys like Xavier Booker, Cohen Carr, they really fit that mold.
There's Jeremy Fears. Nice find for Cooper. Good dribble. Keeps it alive. You're seeing that experience of Carson Cooper rather than just going right up with that. Finds that extra step.
And all offseason long, we talk about incoming freshmen or we talk about the transfer portal. We don't spend enough time talking about the guys that stayed. A guy like Carson Cooper stayed on campus, improved his game, and now it's an exhibition and it's early, but he's really looking like a player to start the season.
And Cooper gets in and ties up the basketball. The possession arrow gives it to Michigan State.
Possession goes to Michigan State.
Carson Cooper just doing a little bit of everything. Takes his time, uses his footwork with the soft dribble, gets under the rim and get a nice finish. And then on the other end, getting his hands active, getting in there for tying up that ball, getting the jump ball.
Cohen Carr and Garrick Norman back in. Another 3 freshman lineup for Michigan State with Fears at the helm. Cooper. Spin move, gets position, and that hook is too easy.
Too many times last season, Michigan State did not have a post release, a way to throw the ball inside and come away with something. You can see that's been a point of emphasis in this offseason, the way they're going to Cooper on the block.
Now they'll go to Cohen Carr on the block. He goes up with the hook and left it short.
Good move.
Mattingly got some space. Couldn't knock down the jumper.
Hillsdale's getting good looks. It's like they're second guessing them at times. That you got to jump up and shoot the basketball. I mean, if it get blocked, it get blocked, but you got to shoot it with confidence.
How much do you think that's nerves, and how much do you think that is just not having played against this type of length?
I mean, playing against this type of length and athleticism, I mean, it's always tough and it's always different, and the nerves in front of this type of crowd. But it's one of the things where your basketball instincts stick in and you got to just play ball. But Carson Cooper, he's been big time in this game. Doing it on the inside, doing it on the glass, getting to his spot, using his footwork. He's been great.
Welcome back to the Breslin Center. Zach Sedenik joined by Rafael Davis, Owen Ozust alongside me. It's the preseason, and you know what they say about preseason polls, but we're going to take a look anyways. Got a couple Big Ten teams in the top 5. Purdue and Michigan State at 3 and 4. What else do you notice about this group?
I mean, I focus on Purdue and Michigan State. I mean, Purdue returning everybody, basically. Michigan State returning a lot of their prominent players. 4 of their top 5 leading scorers returning. It should be a good year for the Big Ten. The last few years, around the country, folks have been down on the Big Ten because of their tournament play, because of March. And I think this is a year where you have teams like Purdue or Michigan State, even Maryland or Wisconsin, Ohio State, different teams across the league that I really feel could get better through the season and really dominate in March.
The Spartans have a top 5 matchup on the horizon against Duke in the Champions Classic in a couple of weeks, but we'll have to wait and see how that one goes in Chicago. Just a reminder, this game's being produced by students at Michigan State University as part of the Big Ten Network Student U program, an on-campus experience that is unique to the Big Ten. Student U is part of an educational mission to teach the next generation of sports production professionals. For more information, visit BigTenNetwork.com/StudentU. Get a look at our control room there.
Doing a fabulous job.
That they are. Producer Alexa Wolkowitz. Matt McCullough, our director tonight. And all sorts of others on this crew that are helping us put this together. A lot of work going into this production tonight. We hope you guys are enjoying it at home. Michigan State, the quick turnover. Fears back to try and recover. Slows it down for a second, and Cohen Carr with a denial.
It's one of those plays where Tom Izzo was ready to jump out of his skin for Michigan State getting lost, and then Cohen Carr just comes over and just saves the day with just one of the most impressive blocks that you will see all season long. Head at the rim, arm above the block, just impressive all around.
But in pure Tom Izzo fashion, he still came out of his skin on the sideline.
Good
nice
move.
shot there from Yarian.
Good move from Yarian. Just taking his time on that block, getting to his spot, using that right hook.
Redshirt freshman getting a lot of minutes. Eric Radicevic played a lot down low in the post off the bench last year. He's been out tonight. Marty Sissoko gets right back at it, picks up the and one.
Rather Sissoko, rather than Cooper or Xavier Booker on the block, this is the production that you want out of your big man. We talked about it earlier. Last season, so much was on A.J. Hogarth, Tyson Walker, Jay Nakins, Malik Hall. One of those guys had a bad game. Success rate went down. And now you have guys you can throw the ball into on the post, give a pressure release, and get to the free throw line in that aspect.
You saw a lot of flashes from Marty Sissoko. There was a ton of talk about a breakout year for him after the game he had in the Champions Classic a year ago against Kentucky.
Yep.
And then just the consistency wasn't there. They really seem to think that a big jump towards that consistency is going to come from Sissoko this season.
And I think a big part of it is just confidence, believing in himself, but then also his teammates believing in him. And a big part of being a big man is your guards got to have trust in you to throw you the basketball. They got to have trust to throw it at the rim, hope you're going to catch and lob it in, dunk it in, throw it to the block, know you're not going to turn it over if you get doubled. You need that trust, and you can see between Carson Cooper, Matty Sissoko, they built that trust with their backcourt, and it's showing in this one.
Mattingly and now Janowski. Janowski trying to get to that jump shot. And a turnover, Stonebreaker standing on the sideline. That's the 12th turnover for Hillsdale. Walker hit the shot, but instead an illegal screen, and Tom Izzo is stunned.
If there's one thing I can remember from the year I was Defensive Player of the Year, it's having to guard Brent Forbes. And I would hate when Brent Forbes was able to step out of bounds and come back inside and catch the ball. I remember I would go to the refs before the game and say when he steps out of bounds, he can't come back in the game and catch the ball. And Tyson Walker tried to get away with it a little bit there. Michigan State does the best job in the conference, in my opinion, at setting hard physical screens that don't allow the defense to get through. And their guards have always done a great job of just navigating screening.
Akins tipped it. Can he get to it and keep it in? He knocked it off of Mattingly. And so he creates another turnover.
Michigan State is just creating habits. I mean, you're up 40 in the exhibition game. I mean, you would think players start to relax a little bit, but Jay Nakins still playing as hard as he can, getting the passing lanes, fighting for extra possessions because he knows it matters. He understands how close they were last season to an Elite Eight. And little plays like that matter, little habits like that going into a long season.
Walker got some space off the screen, draws the double. Bounce pass to Hogarth. Couldn't hit it. That would have brought the house down if he knocked that home, but instead 3 free throws coming.
And that's the type of stuff that you get from an older team, from a veteran team. You see A.J. Hogarth hit the deck a little bit. He tries to get up on his own, and Jay Nakins tells him to sit back down, and then the whole team comes and picks him up. That's what Michigan State has now in the locker room, and not a lot of teams have had that across the country.
We talked about Michigan State and Purdue, but there's not a lot of teams in general across country that bring back that many guys, that have that type of consistency. And Tom Izzo talks about it a lot with the portal era and all of these guys coming in and out. But at the end of the day, this Michigan State team is built of all the guys that were here last year, plus 4 freshmen, minus Joey Hauser. That's it.
I mean, they love Coach Izzo. They love the program. They love the campus. And then they understand what they signed up for. Coach Izzo didn't promise these guys a lot when they came to this program. He didn't say you're going to play 30 minutes every year you're at this campus. Players understand they go through their ups and downs, and Coach Izzo and his staff, they do a great job at keeping players level-headed and understanding that winning is why we're here. And if we win, everyone gets noticed.
Janowski on the drive, and they'll swing it all the way around. Mattingly off the iron, tough rebound from Hogarth.
Bro, man, rebound.
Malik Hall trying to take advantage. Can't hit it. And Hillsdale dodges a bullet there. Ruder working on Akins, just absolute denial and a jump ball. Bit of a stare down to go with it from Akins.
And that's why when we talk about Jaden Akins, we talk about him being a two-way player. Joe Ruder, I mean, he's a bigger guard. He's more of a wing forward type of player in a small ball offense. And Jaden Akins isn't your traditional small forward. He's a guard playing the three. Being able to stand him up, keep pressure in the paint, and get that block.
Stonebreaker might have got away with towing that line a little bit. But Janowski, again, can't hit the triple. The struggles from deep continue for Hillsdale, 2 of 19. Hogard on the drive, ran into trouble. No whistle. Walker looked like he got poked in the eye. And he's going to try and shake that one off. Michigan State came out really fast. They haven't scored at that pace since, but they've obviously been in control throughout and trying to work different lineup combinations and get some guys some looks. There, Joe Ruder finally knocks down a jump shot.
Hillsdale, they do a great job of moving the basketball and finding shooters, finding open people. It's just a matter of making shots consistently at a high level. But against this Michigan State team, you're not going to get too many openings.
Walker to the lane. Tough but too strong, got it back. Finding spacing. Bounce pass to Hall. Reverse. Swirls around and in. (70-29), Michigan State exerting its might on both ends. Stonebreaker will pull. Another rebound for Hogard. Just 3 points and 4 rebounds for Hogard, but 8 assists as well. Akins draws the whistle. That'll bring us to another timeout on the floor, 70-29. Spartans in front. From East Lansing, you're watching Big Ten basketball right here on Big Ten Plus. Welcome back to East Lansing. Michigan State in control, shooting the ball well, playing some good defense to go along with it. Get a look at the upcoming schedules, starting with Hillsdale. They've got some good competition, including a matchup with a Northern Michigan team that knocked them out a year ago. Really trying to build on what they did today, just trying to be better than they were last week and move into that schedule.
It's a big-time schedule, a team that's competing at the highest level. They want to get back to a tournament. They want to compete in their conference. You have a guy like Joe Ruder, who was second-team all-conference last season as a sophomore. He has a lot to prove, stepping into a bigger role. It's exciting to see.
It's always a gauntlet for Michigan State in the non-conference. Here you get a look at it. You see Duke, Arizona, Baylor, an Indiana State team that was one of the better teams in the Missouri Valley last year, one of the better mid-majors in the country. This team's going to be tested again.
I mean, this is what you want when you come to Michigan State. When you're Xavier Booker, when you're Colin Carr, Jeremy Fears, you want to go somewhere where you're going to be playing the best competition across the country. You want to be playing on primetime television. You have Duke, you have Arizona, you have Baylor, 3 top 25 teams, giving you that opportunity early in the season to see exactly where you are. That game November 14th will be major league.
It's always such a big event. It used to be like the opening night of college basketball. Now they moved it back a little bit. Duke's going to be well tested coming into the game. They've got Arizona before that one.
Yeah, college basketball, you love to see competition. You love coaches that do not run away from competing, that want to play the best competition, not just play teams that they think they're going to get wins, build their resumes. College basketball is about competing at the highest level, and that's what you love about Coach Izzo and what other coaches are starting to do around the country.
Good lineup out there for Michigan State. For the starters and the freshman Cohen Carr.
Post up. Missed him.
Walker.
Good pass.
Finds Hogard in the corner. Still can't hit from deep. Hillsdale looking to get some pace. Yarian at the top. Tried to split the double. Did so with some success, but ran into the help defender in Hall. Drive there, and Walker gets whistled for the reach. Good drive by Bolte. Redshirt freshman out of Chicago. McWhinney was trying to get it to Yarian. Now Will feed him. Off the screen. Couldn't get it to fall. Carr almost brought in that rebound. But another O-board from Hillsdale, and this time, good post entry, and Yarian picks himself up a bucket.
Matty Sissoko's got to be solid. You can't just lunge in the pass lane and try to get that steal. And Malik Hall's got to make better decisions. Second time he's gotten to the lane, he tried to do that little flip pass and turned it over.
Cohen Carr looked like he might have just blocked that with his elbow.
Put his head on the rim.
And now Sissoko with a rejection of his own. They give it to Carr and one. That is not the guy you want to meet under the rim.
It's great body control and transition. Tyson Walker with a nice little bounce pass to the big man running the floor. Something you love about Cohen Carr. You know he's going to block shots. He's going to give his all. He's going to give up his body for the team. And then you know in transition, he's going to sprint every single time. A piece of me is sitting right here just wishing Tyson Walker would have threw that one up a little bit and let Cohen Carr finish it home.
A little bit.
Yeah, a little off the backboard, throw it up, let him windmill it or something. Show the crowd what they came to see, Cohen. Tyson's got to know better. New York guards, they love to throw it up.
He's laughing it off. Tom Izzo immediately called both of them over after that play.
So you throw that ball to the rim.
You got a guy that can fly like that?
You got to.
Malik Hall picks up the foul. At least you got the one highlight dunk from Cohen Carr. A couple of blocks. He'll find his way
I think I
onto
need
the
one
highlight
more to
shows.
be happy. One more will make me happy.
All right, we'll see if they can get it for you. Yarian trying to find that groove. Up for Holloman. Walker, nifty dribble moves, too strong, but Carson Cooper's there. What a save!
Hey.
And Cohen Carr! There you go.
Right on time. I mean, Tyson Walker with a great save, and just Cohen Carr, when that shot goes up, he is going to be somewhere around the basketball, has an innate ability to find the ball. It's a great cut, make himself available.
This bucket, in response, will quiet the crowd just a little bit. Walker, quick release, and another quick triple.
If there's one player on the floor for Michigan State that you cannot go under a screen, it's Tyson Walker. Woodhams got caught up on the screen that time. What decided to go under, Tyson Walker makes you pay.
13 points for Walker. That's tied with Carson Cooper to lead all scorers. Spin move by Bolte, lost it out of bounds, back to Michigan State.
Tyson Walker with the heads-up play, finds Cohen Carr at the rim, and it just doesn't matter. He'll dunk over you, he dunk through you, he jump around you. Cohen Carr, one of the better athletes across the country. He's a big-time player, one of the best freshmen to come to Michigan State.
And the Izzone looking for some Steven Izzo action.
The president, got to get him in here. The self-proclaimed best free throw misser in the country.
Yes. That came back to bite him. He almost had his first career regular season points, but couldn't hit the free throws. Trey Holloman, the finger roll finish.
And he's mad at himself because he didn't realize how high he was and he could have dunked it. I mean, Coach raves about Trey Holloman, his improvement, his ability to play off the ball, play on the ball. I'm really excited for him coming off the bench this season.
They've just got so much depth at that guard position. Yep. You've already got the 3 returners as Joe Reuter finally finds that stroke from deep. You've got Hogard, Walker, Akins, and then you've got Fears coming in, but Trey Holloman's still here.
I mean, you got the best 3-guard perimeter probably in the entire country when you think about Jay Nakins, A.J. Hogard, and Tyson Walker. And you have a guy like Trey Holloman coming off the bench with his athleticism, with his feel for the game. There's a lot of places across the Big Ten and even across the country that Trey will be a starter, averaging 22 to 25 minutes per game. Jeremy Fears, one of the better point guards as a freshman in the country. I mean, you have 2 different backcourts that bring you different things that you gotta love the position you're in if you're Coach Izzo.
That was team foul number 7. So Cooper was in the line. He's 1 of 3 from the free throw line tonight, but 13.6 of 7 from the field. Misses the front end. I think that's definitely going to be the one thing Michigan State's going to come out of this game thinking about. 9 of 18 from the free throw line. They're shooting 40% from 3 and 50% from the line. Vasu on the drive. Quick little touch shot. And Cohen Carr somehow finds that board through a sea of jerseys. Akins. Cohen Carr driving down the lane, and another one. Tom Izzo just nodding over on the scorer's table. Got a little smirk on his face. You don't see too many Izzo smiles, but he got close there after that dunk.
I mean, because it's not just about the dunk. This is about just the emphaticness, just the power, the dominance that he tries to tear the rim down every single time. Cohen Carr, just an amazing athlete.
Joe Reuter this time comes up with nothing but air. Good board by Glazer, but he threw it away. Another turnover back to Michigan State. Cohen Carr putting on a show for the East Lansing crowd. Spartans 81-36 on Big Ten Plus.
If you're looking for the biggest Big Ten experience, then welcome home. The Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Personalized with your pass so you get your favorite Big Ten sports and schools streaming and on demand. We're the home of compelling stories, the iconic games, hundreds of exclusive events you can't find anywhere else. Because when it comes to the Big Ten sports you love, there's no plus like home. Only on the Big Ten Plus app, powered by Big Ten Network. Download and subscribe now.
Look at some of the national championship trophies. Michigan State hoping to add another one this season. Get back there and maybe add another crystal ball to that trophy case.
And it's so cool to hear Coach Izzo put his team up for that challenge. And we've talked about it. I mean, you go into the season, you write your goals down on the big board in the locker room. You want to win the Big Ten. You want to win the Big Ten tournament. You want to compete in the NCAA. You want to make a Final Four. But this year, he's want to win a national championship. He said his assistant coaches, they've challenged him to think that way. It's not good enough just to get to that Final Four weekend. They want to be here in East Lansing, bring that national championship back to Michigan State. And they have the team to do it. They have a great mixture of older guys, young guys, guys that can shoot the ball from deep, guys that can finish at the rim, playmakers off the bounce, guys that can score off the block. This is a year that you got to feel good about the Spartans if you're a Michigan State fan.
They're certainly looking the part tonight.
For sure.
We'll see how it looks going forward. You got some tests coming up, as we mentioned. Tennessee, Duke, Arizona, Baylor. That'll get you ready for a tough Big Ten.
No, that definitely gets you ready, especially with the Big Ten play starting in December, starting earlier than it did when I played playing Duke early, playing Arizona early, it gets you ready. It shows you exactly what you are. And if you do get punched in the mouth, it gives you time to go back to the drawing board, to regroup with your guys, and then prepare for the Big Ten season.
And they opened Big Ten play in December with a sneaky good Wisconsin team that returns quite a bit. A lot of talent there. Chucky Hepburn, Connor Essegian had a big year last year.
Yep.
They're going to be good.
I mean, you think about Wisconsin, they're the only team last year to have 2 guys on the preseason All-Big Ten team with Chucky Hepburn and Tyler Wall. Both of those guys have something to prove. Connor Essegian, AJ.
Cohen Carr almost just threw down his most ferocious one yet, but couldn't get it to go down. That was off a beautiful find, too, from Davis Smith.
A lot of players miss dunks. They can't jump high enough. Cohen Carr misses it when he jumps too high.
Yeah. We hear the crowd. Steven Izzo
Good pass.
headed to the scores table. Carr gets an offensive board and puts it up and in.
Offensive rebound, 360 reverse layup. It's still above the rim. It's showing flashes of why he's on draft boards, why he's considered to be one of the more athletic, one of the better prospects in the country.
There's nothing you can do to defend that.
There's nothing you can do to defend that. There's a grown man in a freshman's body.
Oh, McWinney draws the foul. And the crowd likes that one, because that means Steven Izzo coming in. But he's got to wait a second. He started to come in, the crowd got going. He's got free throws coming. You got to wait after the first one.
This is the time you love. This is time that it's really fun. You see when Steven Izzo gets in the game, the teammates, they start to stand up every time he catches the ball and wants him to score. You got to love when your guys want you to go out there and have success.
And here they come. You've got some Hall of Fame blood on the court right now. Izzo, Sanders, Smith.
Big time. And this is why you love a program like Michigan State, because like I said, this is a family. This is not just for you. This is for you, your kids, their kids, everyone to experience this type of love, this type of atmosphere.
And they're leaving Izzo in the corner for the moment. He pulls a step back 3 and he airballed it. Man, if he hit that one. And Tom's shaking his head like, what are you doing?
You got a lot of confidence, but it was a terrible shot.
No.
A lot of confidence. I want to see him shoot it again. I want to see Steve get him one. I want to see Sanders get him one, Smith get him one. You always want to see these guys that give their all every single day in practice, commit to the team. They may not play the most minutes, but sometimes these are the most important players in the locker room for sure.
Glazer with a nice move. They like him, the freshman. He's got good post control, and he can play from outside as well. They're running Izzo off some screens. And he'll give it up. Now it's Nick Sanders. He's going to the bucket. Fears in a pick and roll with Booker. Tried to swing it to Izzo, and it got picked away.
Oh, no.
And I don't know that Steven touched it, but it'll stay with Hillsdale. Let's take a look. Oh, off the foot.
Good call.
That's why we're over here and they're out there.
That's why they get paid the big bucks.
Attempting a backdoor there. The Sioux wasn't on the same page. Just under a minute to play from East Lansing. They tried to get Izzo on the cut. Who's going to the line? Is it Fears or is it Izzo? Fears is trying to send Izzo, and they will send him to the line.
There you go, Jeremy Fears. A lot of players in Jeremy Fears' position right there, they would have shot that free throw. They would have cared about scoring their points. But when you have a freshman at this type of leader, this is what you want.
If he makes this shot, just listen to this crowd.
There we go.
Let's see if he can get a second.
You can see the smile on Coach Izzo's face. He's trying to cover it up with his hand right now. He's got to be just a proud father moment right now. Coach hat goes out the window. It's all about being a dad. That's just big time.
I don't know that I've heard the Breslin Center louder at all tonight than it was right there. Fears takes it away. Nick Sanders for three. Izzo with the offensive
There we
board.
go. Mix it up, young fella.
They're going to try and get Sanders another shot, I think. They're giving it to him. Going to the lane. Hook shot doesn't go off the glass. McWinney for three. Knocks it home. And that'll be the end of it. Michigan State, a 42-point victory over Hillsdale. The Spartans get the job done.
27 assists on 33 made field goals. You out-rebound the team by 15. I mean, you turn the ball over only 11 times. You get 19 points off of their 16 turnovers. This is a complete locked-in effort for Michigan State on both ends of the floor. Carson Cooper was big time. Colin Carr did his thing at the rim. Tyson Walker made buckets. This is an exciting year for Michigan State fans. Coming in the year number 4 in the country. Excited to see them take it all the way through March.
What a fun night. You had Tyson Walker with 13, along with Carson Cooper to lead all scorers. Gonna look at the game recap. Michigan State, big time effort. You see the blocks numbers. Look at that, 10 Michigan State blocks.
I mean, that's big time. I mean, you think about last season, and their presence at the rim just wasn't there at times. I mean, Zach Edey, Julian Reese, other bigs come into this gym and not have that much resistance, and this year they have that at the rim.
And a big part of that comes with the athleticism from this Michigan State team. In a big way, we're gonna step aside. Michigan State with a big win for all of us here in East Lansing. Zach Sardenik alongside Rafael Davis, Owen Ozust, producer Alexa Wolkowitz, and Matt McCullough directing tonight. Saying goodnight from East Lansing.
चल के बा